What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking about Sun in the sign of Virgo. It's part of my Sun sign series, doing a different one every month, and it's Virgo season, so Virgo it is. First of all, for anyone who knows a little bit more about astrology, I am coming at this analysis from my perspective, and personally I have Virgo in the 8th house. And I don't have any planets in the 8th house. So I have a peculiar relationship with Virgo Sun people, because when I meet a Virgo Sun person, they light up those dark things of the 8th house, which normally are invisible to me because I don't have any planets there through which to express those things, you know? So I can only give you my perspective on this from my perspective. And so keep that in mind if you're a bit more of a seasoned astrologer or astrology student, that I have Virgo in the 8th house and no planets there, you know. So what is your sun? Your sun is your vitality and your energy. It's how you exert your energy, what kind of energy and to what degree you exert it. It's your ego personality. So it's how you want to be seen, independent of maybe how you are internally, because you often have a different moon sign, which is your emotional nature, than your sun sign, which is your outgoing part of yourself. But it's the conscious part of your energy exertion, whereas ascendant is more how you unconsciously project yourself, your energy in unfamiliar situations. It's your physical appearance, it's your style, your physical style. This is your ego, and it's how you come off to people after you've broken the ice with them. And it's really the main part of one's personality that their friends know, you know, and interact with on a day-to-day basis. So that's the sun. It's your ego. And Virgo is a sign. Remember, signs are styles of expression. They're not the most important part of an astrological chart, but they are important. They're sort of that flavor. It's your style. It's your swagger. And Virgo is an earth sign. It's earthy. It's grounded in its own way. It's consistent. It's a mutable sign in modality, which means that it is changeable, it is flexible, it is malleable, right? Given what's going on in its environment. Now, Virgo is quite an introverted sign and a feminine sign. I would say that it's maybe the most quintessential feminine sign. Because the symbol for Virgo is the Virgin Maiden, sort of picking up a bushel of wheat. So it's service-oriented, it's dutiful, it's hardworking, and it's a Virgin Maiden. So there's this aura of innocence and purity that comes along with Virgin energy. With Virgo energy, I'm sorry. Sort of Virgin energy for the Virgo. Even if a Virgo has, like, you know, a huge body count, it doesn't matter. They're still going to come off as like sort of naive and innocent in that way, and they can use that to their advantage, so watch out. But I see it as an introverted and feminine sign. Introverted in a sense of like being inwardly focused, you know. I look at Virgo as the left brain of Mercury, because Mercury has two co-rulers, Virgo and Gemini. Gemini is more the right brain, Virgo is more the left brain. It's more scientifically minded, it's analytical, it's logical, it's precise. It's very detail-oriented, Virgo. In the way that it expresses itself, in the way that Virgo organizes things, it's very precise. It's very picky, right? And Virgo prefers a sort of a priori system, an analytical system through which to explain things. Because remember, Mercury is really the part of our personality that is concerned with communication, explanation, rationalization, right? So Virgo is like that, plus the left brain expression of that. So Virgo doesn't come off as being as much fun as Gemini. Gemini is quite a light-hearted, fun sort of energy. Virgo's a little more serious. And it wants to get to the bottom of things. Virgo cares about precision, and it cares about, it's detail-oriented, and sometimes, as a result, misses the forest for the trees. But at least you can count on Virgo to be hardworking and to keep things organized, right? Virgo is very service-oriented. So when they have a job to do, they're actually very good at doing mundane tasks, even though Virgo tends to be good at solving puzzles, both word puzzles and mathematical puzzles. They tend to be very service-oriented and good at mundane tasks because staying busy with their hands, keeping their mind, part of their brain occupied on a task that they don't really have to put much conscious effort into, allows their mind to wander in quite a healthy way. They can use that time to reflect on their own mental states and emotional states and to kind of figure things out for themselves. So Virgo tends to like mundane tasks, and it's because they're busy, in a sense. They're staying busy. If you leave a Virgo alone with their own thoughts and nothing to do, they can go to some pretty dark places. A Virgo expresses some quite dark feminine energy, I would say. They can be highly self-critical. And they are, I think, the darkest and most restrained, most guarded of the mutable signs, because we do think of the other mutable signs as kind of going with the flow, and wherever the flow of their environment takes them, they're like down for whatever, And Virgos, whenever they have a solid grounding with someone, like say someone with some Capricorn energy or Taurus energy, the other earth signs, they can feel a little more loose, a little more comfortable expressing themselves, in a free-flowing way, and they can be down for whatever, and they can be fun and funny. But there's certain things that have to be in order. Virgo sun person, you really have to earn their respect through their intellect. Because they're mentally oriented, they tend to be quite sapiosexual, actually, really attracted to intellect. You have to prove yourself in that way, and then they can kind of open up and have fun with you, right? And so you see, like, Virgo people being with someone who is on their intellectual level, who can systematize things in their way and is not critical about the way that they systemize things and keep things organized, because they do tend to be picky and critical of themselves as well as others. So they can be difficult to get along with, especially because they don't have a light-hearted sort of nature like Gemini does, But it depends what else is going on in the chart. I have a lady friend, for example, who is a Virgo sun, but she has a Gemini rising and a Leo moon. So she's very warm-hearted and real light and bubbly in her expressions. So it's like she's maybe one of the funnest and most bubbly and, adaptable, socially adaptable Virgo sun people out there. It's just a good combination to balance out that kind of hard-headed, like Virgo nature of the Virgo ego. But Virgos, they need to know that their efforts involving things that can't be systemized, can't be quantified and put into numbers and strict logical terms. They need to know that these things like social expression and sexual expression and humanitarian efforts, even things that they do in a humanitarian, a service-oriented way, need to know that these things are accepted and are not going to be heavily criticized. Because when they really open up, when they do find that comfortability to open up and put themselves out there, and to express themselves in ways that can't be sort of left brain understood, you know, they can really go to a dark place and self-sabotage if they feel like their social, sexual, humanitarian efforts are not accepted, and if they're met with some resistance. They don't like that. So when they embark on a sort of spiritual path, Virgos, they tend to be organized in that way too. They tend to prefer sort of a pre-existing structure, like an organized religion or something, or maybe even like history of religion, or like some intellectual framework through which to understand concepts like God and truth and even their own spiritual existence as a person with identity. They tend to prefer to learn about those things and understand those things within a logical framework of some sort. Or else they may kind of pass it off as woo-woo, you know? Because Virgo people tend to be organized in the way that they think about things and express themselves, as well as the journeys on which they embark. Virgo people are very good at coming up with an itinerary and making plans for a trip, for example. But if they're comfortable with you and you already have some good chemistry, travel chemistry with them, they're also great at kind of going with the flow, as long as you know what they like, because they're picky about that sort of thing. Food they eat, stuff like that. When they wake up, you know, their daily routine type stuff, they're usually picky about. As long as you can get the formalities straight with them, they can really open up and be quite fun. Again, Mercury, we think about the intellect, we think about the explanative and rational mind. Virgo is really the left brain of that planet. And so they tend to be very good conversationalists, regardless of their actual level of intelligence. I don't really think of any sign as being more intelligent than any other sign. Signs are just styles of expression, remember? And often we're all trying to express the same things. And Virgo has a sort of structured, like, intelligent way of expressing things. And so they're great conversationalists, you know? And they're turned on by other people who are as well, you know? And when you disagree with a Virgo, they can be very difficult to have an argument with because of their sort of like rigid, analytical way of communicating, right? Maybe their Mercury sign is actually in Libra, which means they're going to be a little more fair and a little more balanced in the way that they debate. But generally speaking, if you're in a debate where their ego is kind of firing up, Virgos can be very stubborn and very quick to dismiss another point of view. If that point of view is not coming through in a sort of rational way, logical way, right? But remember, this is just a style of expression. So if you do find common ground with a Virgo, and if you do look at where Virgo shows up in your chart and where your Mercury is too, and learn how to actually interact and adapt your speech as to be heard and understood by this Virgo person, you can find common ground with them, and the depths of conversation that you can go to with them is pretty much limitless, and they love that, and they'll love you more for it, you know? Virgo, again, quite a feminine energy too, especially for being so like intellectually minded. I think Virgos are super sexy, especially having them in my 8th house. You know, I have like mad, like deep, like really painful crushes on these women, and I tend to get along with the guys too. I think the guys are super cool and funny, and I love Virgo energy. Very cool, very intellectual, and really very capable of helping you explore the depths of your own mind if you can connect with them, because they are very mentally oriented people. So anyway, that's my analysis of sun sign in Virgo. How do you like Virgo energy? Let me know in the comments. In either case, I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one where we'll be talking about Libra and how cheesy those people are. So, hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one, guys. Cheers.